Hello, and thank you for stopping by. Today I'm going to be looking at Johnny Hallyday and Lara Fabian's Requiem pour un fou, or Requiem for a Fool. It also translated at one of the websites that was looking for lyric translations as Requiem for a Madman, which I don't know French, so someone will have to correct me. I did not think that was correct. Not my call. But as I was looking at the lyrics, this is a very intense scene. Um, and I know that here's an interesting bit of trivia. He and Michael Bolton did a duet of this later on at some particular point, and those will be the lyrics that I will be putting into the comments, just so that you have the context of the song, even though I couldn't find the Laura Fabian version. There was a licensing issue on the site. So with that, I'm going to let that go and we're going to let the song play itself out. So, without any further ado, let's begin. I'm going to pause for a moment here. One of the things that I'm immediately drawn to is the choir in the background, the rain, and also the minor keys that are playing along underneath this. One of my favorite classical pieces of all time is the Mozart's Requiem Mass. All of just there's just so much intensity within that, and this particular introduction is bringing about that type of that intensity. Also, if you notice, not only is it raining, but there's backlighting so that everybody's in shadow. It's taking place at night, so I mean, there's just a lot of scene setting here. And again, as I mentioned in, I believe, Tango, that's something that is a signature of Laura Fabian, and also something that I think a lot of artists of a certain period of time really wanted to bring to their performances. And so I'm going to take it back a couple of seconds and then we'll begin again right there. And let's keep going.
Je vous préviens, n'approchez pas, que vous soyez flic ou bateau. Je tue celui qui fait un pas, je ne ferai pas de cadeau. Éteignez tous ces projecteurs et baissez vos fusils braqués. Non, je ne vais pas m'envoler sans elle.
Dites au curé, dites au pasteur qu'ailleurs ils aillent se faire pendre. Le diable est passé de bonheur et mon âme n'est plus aveugle.
I'm going to stop here. I was watching a reactor talk about Laura Fabian in another production, and how he was saying that she was holding back in this particular production. That doesn't seem to be the case here. And this is, I, the thing about saying that performers hold back is really sort of interesting for me. It isn't necessarily holding back. It's modulating oneself to the scene and to the person that you're working with. And that's just teamwork in my mind. And so while it may look like someone might be holding back or not pushing forward, in my mind that's just really good. I don't want to call it sportsmanship. For some reason I called it that in my mind, but it's more the whole notion of there is nobody more important in that scene than each other. So you have to work as a group and as a team to get the goal across, which is to bring this message. And so when she comes in, and again, I didn't study the lyrics. It's a pretty dark thing, but I don't have the lyrics memorized and I don't have them with me. But um, when she comes in, she owns what it is that she's trying to bring across, and that is one of the things that a lot of artists don't necessarily know how to do, is really be able to bring their body and their voice together. And here she does that magnificently, actually. So I'm going to back that up a little bit. And so we're going to see her enter, and then we'll start it here.
Non, je ne vais pas m'envoler sans elle.
Dis ton curé, dis ton pasteur, qu'ailleurs ils aillent se faire pendre. Le diable est passé de bonheur, et mon âme n'est plus aveugle. Si vous me laissez cette nuit, alors je vous donnerai ma vie. Car à quoi me servirait ma vie sans lui?
Again, the way that Lara Fabian approaches her performances is 135% all in. This is something that you also notice with Dimash, someone that he idolizes and takes a lot of sort of his performance ethic from. If you notice in this particular scene, she never holds back, and I'll call it a scene because it's gone past a song at this particular point. It is a scene, and so what they're doing here is they're having this great exchange, and and again she's fully in on this, and he's fully in, and what I really enjoy about this is that he's playing his particular part. He's more reserved. I don't know his background. I don't know his training, but I mean, it's just this amazing teamwork that they're doing here, because there's this great intimacy that's going on here that's just amazing to watch. So again, this is something that doesn't necessarily happen in modern contemporary music, at least in the American sphere. I don't know what happens in Europe or in other parts of in the world, and that's my fault. But this type of like performance ethic from a standard uh, in this particular environment, Laura Fabian was a pop artist. That's who she was, and so um, this particular scene here is something that doesn't necessarily happen in a lot of performances that we see nowadays. And so I know I'm repeating myself, so I'm gonna back it up a little bit, and we're gonna run this back and continue. That was nice.
Le jour se lève, la nuit pâlit, les chasseurs et les chiens ont faim. C'est l'heure de sonner la lalie, la bête doit mourir ce matin.
Je vais ouvrir grand les volets. Referme-moi le cœur, je suis prête. Je peux m'endormir pour toujours, pour toujours.
Je n'étais qu'un fou, et par amour,
Par amour,
elle a fait de moi un fou d'amour.
mon ciel s'éteint, ses yeux se bougent. Ma vie, c'était son corps, son corps.
I'm stopping here because in this particular section, one of the things I caught on to, and this is something that I listened to in both Lara, Dimash, and actually in almost anything. I was listening to a pentatonic song just a couple days ago, and I was listening for this also. Is how you can create momentum with volume control. And in this particular section, Lara Fabian brings it down, brings it up, and using the volume control, she creates an immediacy, an intimacy, and then an intensity when she goes into her more into her louder tones. And that is the stuff that creates the drama, right? Is if somebody sings at the same pitch and same tone and same volume level, there's nothing going on. There's nothing happening. And this if and I apologize to any Bjork fans out there, but Bjork has a tendency to do this a lot as she sings everything at mezzo forte on up. But Laura Fabian here, she does this really great job of using volume to bring people in and with her softer tones and to capture them with her louder tones. And this here reinforces this whole dynamic between these two people, which I'm assuming are love interests in some ways. And I'll I look forward to hearing about more of the context of this afterwards.
Les temps, que pour la garder, je l'ai tué, je ne suis qu'un fou,
Tu n'es qu'un fou,
un fou d'amour,
d'amour.
un pauvre fou, qui meurt d'amour. Qui meurt d'amour.
Tu meurs d'amour.
Qui meurt d'amour.
Qui
So that's Requiem Poem Fou. I'm very interested to hear what you guys think about this particular performance in terms of their body language towards each other. Again, I've blithered on about this for um, this entire reaction. Um, I'm it's always amazing to watch this because there's an intimacy and sort of it in this particular performance that, like I said, doesn't happen in a lot of other performances, and it shows that struggle that they have in a way that other performers and performances I've seen don't do very well. And so again, there's this goes back to a lot of what I always talk about when I talk about either Lara or Dimash is that the the thing that she never has to worry about is her voice. So when she goes out and she sings, she knows that her voice is going to be there. She knows that any note, any volume, any register that she needs is going to be there for what she needs. So all she has to do and worry about is putting her body there and making the scene happen, to use everything that's about her to make the scene. So she can use her body in ways that she needs to, just like in Tango last week or last week. Well, yeah, it was last week when I did it, but um in Tango that she's bent over and she's, crouched over and she's singing and the tone is perfectly perfect. And here again, she's in a full embrace with a gentleman and she's singing over his shoulder, and that was a really long phrase that she sang there. And again, she can do what she needs to do on stage because she never has to worry about her voice. And that's something that I look at, because when I would teach writing, I'd tell people you have to learn grammar because it's one thing that won't get in your way. She learns breath control and pitch and register placement and all that other vocal stuff, because then she doesn't have to worry about how she's going to perform, because that's not going to get in her way. So that's my take on Lara Fabian. This performance was really intense and I enjoyed it. I wish I had spent a little bit more time studying the lyrics before I started. I just went ahead and just got the translation and glanced at a few things. I knew that there was some intensity within it, so I don't know a heck of a lot about this. And I hope that you guys can help illuminate me a little bit or have the conversation in the comments about this, because I think there's a lot going on here. And in terms of the lyricism and the intensity, and it's awesome to see people bring that intensity and bring that out in each other, because again, it's a team, right? So Lara Fabian and Johnny here are acting as a team to bring this message to the people, and they use their bodies and their voices to do so in a really, really excellent way. And so I'm going to leave it at that. I do want to thank you for your time, and I hope you all are having an awesome day, an awesome week, an awesome weekend, wherever you are in time. And I hope that you're all staying safe. Thank you.